Hello everybody, my name is Luke Marr, this is Hot Mode, and today on Hot Mode, we're doing a part 2 to our Grammys Fashion Roast and Review. We have a lot of people to cover. If you didn't see part 1, well, we're getting into bearing it all. With part 2, we're going to talk about some of your faves from Lady Gaga to Beyonce, so get ready. First up, we're going to talk about Babyface. He's wearing Balmain. I felt bad for Babyface. I saw that Associated Press interview gone awry. Not great. But as for Babyface's outfit, I thought he looked lovely. I really liked the pant shape. I really love the shape of the blazer. Maybe the sleeve is a little too long, but these embellished, big, old, beautiful, crystalled lapels, breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. Simple, but effective. And then I like the glasses and the turtleneck, too. So shout out to Babyface. Next up, we have Benson Boone, who is wearing Dolce and Gabbana. If you want me to talk about other parts of Benson Boone, part 3, performance wear. We'll get into it. But this Dolce & Gabbana suit, I think it's okay. The full gray is nice. I like the shirting, matching the jacket, matching the pant. I guess my one issue is the shoe. Just from this angle, doesn't really line up super duper well. I think they just look a little bit wide, and the shoe looks quite narrow, and I think that is what is throwing me off. The silky trim on the lapel, I think that's chic. The color gray is an interesting choice, most definitely. Not awful, but nothing to write home about. Next up, we have Beyonce, who is wearing Schiaparelli. I believe that this is haute couture. If it's not haute couture, it's custom based on haute couture from Schiaparelli's collection, not last season, but I think the season before that. Clearly, Beyonce is wearing a gold encrusted dress, but there is this white embellishment that moves throughout the entirety of the dress and the gloves that is clearly inspired by the white printed designs on bandanas. The funny thing is, Beyonce is from Texas. She was up for Cowboy Carter, so this idea of like bandana wear, that print, that motif, it makes a lot of sense why you would play to it. The other funny thing to me is that Daniel Roseberry, the creative director of Schiaparelli, is also from Texas, so there's that like southern western charm to the two of them. Both also immensely creative people, so that that certainly helps. In reality, I think it fits her really beautifully. I love the actual cutout right in the center that has a big pendant in there. Not only do I think that it pays homage to the keyhole motif that is a Schiaparelli signature, it's not actually a keyhole motif, I don't believe, but I like the idea of it being a keyhole cutout, which plays Schiaparelli, and I do think that big pearl sort of makes one sit up. But also there clearly was an issue with the dress as she was accepting one of the awards, one of her Grammys. We could see that there was something like pressing against her bust area, and it's the underwire from the dress. So I don't really know how that happened, but that's also what maybe led me to believe that it might not be like necessarily haute couture that she's wearing, but rather just custom Schiaparelli. I would think that with haute couture, that wouldn't necessarily happen just because the sheer amount of time that goes into like actually creating the garments. Where custom, I think things are a little bit quicker. There's a faster turnaround time. And so if something was to happen, I would say this is more custom probably than haute couture. Again, like it's bad, it sucks, it's not great, whatever. But at the same time, like I still think it's great dress. It's just wardrobe is malfunctioning. And also, if you think I'm being lax, just think about the fact that Beyonce would have seen that happening, felt it happening also, and probably had conversations with everybody involved. So I don't need to lay it on, you know what I mean? I'm sure she has it handled. I saw the Renaissance documentary. Next up, we have Charlotte Lawrence, and she is wearing Saint Laurent. Now, it's a pretty simple Saint Laurent slip dress that's fully sheer in black and has a cape on top. The thing that I really love about the look is the necklace. I believe that that's a Bulgari necklace. It looks like one of those Bulgari snakes. If it's not, again, jewelry companies, you don't really tell me anything, so what am I to know? You know what I mean? We should have a conversation because it seems a little silly of us. Here's the thing. For Saint Laurent, this is like simple. It's not really super crazy because Saint Laurent loves a sheer. Anthony Vaccarello loves a full sheer moment. So I'm not like gooping and gagging over it, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's just nice, standard, easy. What I will say is, in case anybody's going to be like, Luke, this is a fully sheer look. Like, what's your problem here versus the Bianca Sensori thing? She's wearing underwear. So that's one. And I can see it visibly. I can see the brief underneath. Secondly, again, like, I'm not offended by a boob. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, oh my god, boobs, scary. Oh, I have to take a day. No, I respect the boob. I think it's an important part of the world. Shout out to women, their body, their choice. We get it. It's just that I think that people's like specific genitals being out, you know, crotch area genitals, not for me in this context. But yeah, otherwise, honestly, it looks nice. Next up, we have Chrishell Stause, and she is wearing Galia Lahav. Here's my issue with this. If she was with, what is it, G-Flip, I'd be like, okay, cool, I get the wedding look. I see it, love that. But here, it feels a little too bridal to me. This has to be from a bridal collection. I actually really like the lace bodice. I think it's really lovely. I think where I'm lost a little bit is the train thing with the pant. Like, I understand that people want to do that, whatever, do your thing. If this gives you Audrey Hepburn vibes, far be it from me to tell you that it's not. But I just think in the context of like the Grammys red carpet, the full white semi-wedding look, but like with a ponytail and not getting married is a little strange. If it was a different color, I'd be like, okay, like it's fine, whatever. I just think the white is a little off. Next up, we have Chrissy Teigen. She's wearing Christian Siriano. And you know that the Bianca Censori thing must have been like kind of crazy to me because I'm like, oh, this like pretty sheer Christian Siriano dress is fine. I'm fine with this. I like it. I think it's interesting. I know again that it's like body out, but I can't see it all. There's something left to the imagination. Not much, but something. I love this mermaid train. I think it's actually really beautiful. I actually enjoy the panel that sort of exposes the bust area and then a little bit of the stomach. And I don't mind the hip. I think where this only really goes wrong is the fact that it kind of crinkles in the center of the thigh area. Like, that's the only real issue. But again, I think you could only get away with that being absolutely perfect if Chrissy Teigen just like did not move and was rather picked up by John Legend and others and moved piece by piece throughout the Grammys ceremony. So I really don't mind this. I think it's cool. I like it. I think it's sheer, but like tasteful enough sheer. Next up, we have Clairo, and she's wearing Miss Claire Sullivan. I assume that the Claire on Clairo moment possibly helped in the decision making. I think it's sweet. I have to say, I like this sort of Peter Pan-y collar. I like the little, you know, short cap sleeve. I think that silk is rather lovely on her. And then I think the polka dot drape wrap skirt with the sort of over top bustless corset is fun. I think it creates a little bit of space in between, you know, right at the top of the hip area, and I think it works. I think the length is lovely, and could it possibly seem like it's just throwing fabric on and draping it around her? Yeah, but like I actually don't think that it comes across that way, and I think it's because the structured sort of collar, buttons, sleeve up top. And also, if you think about it, like the buttons and the little sort of panel of polka dot on the sleeve all creates like a polka dotty effect. So it, to me, it all works. It's not the craziest thing in the entire world, but at least it feels fun and like somewhat fashion. Next up, we have Coco Jones, who's wearing Defiance. It's just a dress I've seen a million times. Like, she doesn't look bad at all. I think that this sort of draped thing, it's for certain people of taste. Yeah, it's not my taste, but like people enjoy these kinds of dresses. They love them, they wear them. It's very sort of fun and loose and flowing. The color's beautiful on her. The gold hardware I think works. It's just I've seen the dress a lot, and I don't think this is like the best dress in the entire world. So again, she looks beautiful. I just won't remember this. Next up, we have Jack Antonoff and Margaret Qualley. Sorry, Margaret Qualley. Listen, Jack Antonoff looks really boring. He's wearing a double-breasted suit. I don't know. I mean, like, the shoes, the suit looks baggy on him, and it's like a simple suit, so it shouldn't really look that baggy on him, at least in the pant direction. And then Margaret, I feel bad. I feel like maybe she's just kind of doing really simple because it's not about her, but also I've seen a lot of her Chanel looks, so what I'm gonna say is it's a blah dress too. They look blah together. They are blending blahs. They're just blah. So that sucks. Next up, we have Jacob Collier, and he is wearing OTT, which I believe is a Emiratis or like UAE brand. I hate it, but that's just a real personal taste thing. He looks like a piñata that has yet to been beat, depending on who you ask. What I'm going to say is it's just too glitter party city for me. What I will say is I was trying to figure out what the brand was, and I did find this picture of him. And in the light, all of the sparkles and the sequins, they shine rather beautifully. And so like I get what we wanted to do. It's just that unfortunately that doesn't happen in these photos. So it's not for me, but in a different context, I could see where it would be a little bit more dynamic. Next up, we have Janelle Monáe. She's wearing Area. I enjoy it. I thought that this was a nice suit moment. The gold hardware all over. Again, I think Janelle knows how to do an accessorization. I think the hat is fantastic with the gold chains, the gold chain necklace. I don't know what kind of watch that is. I don't know watches, but the watch over the suit jacket, the gold rings. Like, it's a fun, well done accessory moment. It's a navy blue and gold. I think it really pops super duper beautifully on her. Again, the hat I'm enjoying, so I'm into it. Next up, we have John Legend. He's wearing Louis Vuitton. I like this. I think that this is a great example of you don't have to do like super crazy for me to be like, okay, fun. You know what I mean? It's not like the most memorable look either, but something about this silk suit that is patterned with the Louis Vuitton. I don't want to say damier because it's not a damier. It's like the diamond looking LV monogram logo piece. Like, I actually think it works. It feels very vintage, 1920s, 1930s smoking suit, sort of patterned silk. And it's lovely. I like the brown shirt. I love the tie that looks like a silk sort of scarf turned into a tie. Even the shoe, I think it works. It looks a little costumey boot, but like I'm taking it. This is a good way of saying like you don't just have to wear a black suit and a white shirt. You could do kind of anything really, and I'd be like, all right, fun, different. I could take that. More of this, please, man. Next up, we have Julia Fox. I don't know. It's a little much for me. And not even that it's like a little much. It's just the sheeriness. I'm not like super excited by the leather jacket. It's like, okay. The gloves, I don't know. It's a bit gimmicky. And like, I know that Julia does do more outlandish, exciting things. And I appreciate when she does. And I say that when she does. And I think it's wonderful that it's wonderful. I just think this one falls a little flat to me. I feel like if we're going to put in this much effort, we might as well have gone for something a little kooky crazier with a bit more glamour to it. I think that's what's maybe missing to me is it feels a little Julia Fox going to the grocery store. Not really Julia Fox going to the Grammys. There's a difference there. Next up, we have Kelsea Ballerini. She's wearing Tamara Ralph. It looks nice on her. Like, I think that's my issue. People are like, you don't like it. How do you not like it? And it's like, it's not that I don't like things. I like it. It looks pretty. It's not affronting to my eyeballs. I just, like, I'm not really gonna scream and shout about it either. It's a beautifully done cocktail dress in black that is fully encrusted with these long sort of crystals. I love the shape of the neckline. I really enjoy the way that the light reflects off of the crystals. It fits her really, really well. I like it looks good. The white off the shoulder jacket train thing, like, I don't know, I'm not obsessed with it. I know that's kind of like a Tamara Ralph thing that she does, and I actually quite like Tamara Ralph as a designer, but it's nice. But like, okay, it's nice. So that's good. So maybe I should just say, it's nice, and then we move on. Next up, we have Lady Gaga, and she is wearing Samuel Lewis, an up-and-coming designer, and Tiffany & Co. Let's talk about the Tiffany first. Tiffany, again, did not send me a press release about this. I had to find it out on my own. But it's that huge, honking yellow stone. I assume it's a diamond, but I don't know. That thing is gigantic. You could take somebody's eye out with that thing. I think it's nice. The thing about the Samuel Lewis look is, like, it's fun. Gaga, I think that the leather jacket with all of the lace-up coarse details, it fits her beautifully. I like the sort of sharp shoulder element. It has a Victorian feeling, like even the neck. I like the fact that it really like holds and frames her neck like this. I need one of those in my everyday life, so I possibly sit up straight. Probably wouldn't work, but in my brain it could. And the skirt, it's nice skirt. I don't know, I wasn't really like, wow, so amazing. It's nice. Like me, so nice. Really nice. Super nice. Really enjoyed it. But I want more. I don't know. And we'll talk about it in part 3 that Gaga had more fashion-y kind of moments. Listen, I think that it works with the imagery, like the hair and all that. Like, it frames her face really, really stunningly. I don't know. I saw that picture of her in like the vintage Alexander McQueen, and I was kind of like, oh, what about that one? We could wear that here, right? You know? So, like, grass is always greener. Next up, we have Lainey Wilson. She is wearing Sergio Hudson, a New York-based brand. Listen, beautiful suit. Really stunning suit. I think it fits her phenomenally. I'm also going to say, I met Lainey Wilson last Fashion Week, and I could talk to that woman till I died. I could listen to her speak for forever. Great, beautiful voice. I think the suit's great. I think the hat's fun. The big old necklace thing with, I think it's turquoise and some sort of silver. And I feel like I saw a TikTok or something about the way that the patina that's going on in there, but I don't know. But yeah, they suit and all, but like, again, not really super memorable, not really something I'm gonna write home about, you know? Next up, we have Madison Beer. She's wearing Miss Sohi. I don't know, like, again, beautiful, beautiful. She looks beautiful. It's a beautiful dress. I think it's maybe the lighting. I don't know. It's just something about this particular thing just doesn't land to me. Maybe it's like we're getting to sheer ad nauseum at this point. I'm not sure. I do think that the signature sort of Miss Sohi clam shelly sort of panels on the hips is cool in the silver. I like the silverification and crystallification of the lace, because if you look up close, it is a really beautiful sort of beige lace. And that's also at the bottom of the dress too. And then on top of it, listen, like the cloak thing, this one I think is lovely. That color is fantastic. We can also see that if you look deep down, there's a lot of these sort of beautiful floral and tree motifs that are fully crystallized and all that sort of stuff. You know, I just don't think that like a lot of the pictures that I saw really showed off the cloak element, which to me is the best part about the look. And maybe it's a little tough because, cloak takes up a lot of picture. We look at a lot of vertical, but I don't know. I kind of missed out on like the good stuff. Like the landscapey kind of pictures of her looks great, but here it's hard because again, like not only you have to get the makeup and the hair and the lighting and the whatever and the outfit all right, but like also you got to understand the angles and the pictures that they're going to post. So like I get it, but I'm not like wow. Next up we have Mustard, and I'll be completely honest, I would die for this cardigan. Like I would do unruly, disturbing things for that cardigan. It is beautiful. It's chunky. The patchwork element to it, I just like stun. Even the nods, in my opinion, to like the Chanel 4-pocket tweed, the collarless element, the white trim, the 4 pockets, like it's kind of fantastic. So whoever made that, I'm happy for you. Also, I would like one. As for the rest of the outfit, the white shirt, black tie, black pant, black shoe, totally fine because in reality, that cardigan is the star of the show. We don't really need anything else. He could have showed up naked. Well, maybe not. But the cardigan is great. Next up, we have Olivia Rodrigo. Now, she is wearing vintage Versace. And again, she looks breathtaking. She looks beautiful. The dress, Gianni Versace didn't make it for her, but like maybe he was really thinking far ahead. He said, listen, one day Olivia Rodrigo, she's gonna wear it. I'm also just gonna say, like, it's not the most interesting dress in the world. You know what I mean? Like, again, two things can be true at the same time. It's a beautifully made, constructed, form-fitting gown on her. I don't find it particularly intriguing, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something that I'm going to remember. Olivia, I feel like, tends to do these form-fitted dresses. Like, that's her thing. She doesn't really stray very far out from that. I wish she would, but she doesn't. And so she's kind of like a Taylor Swift to me, where I would really love for her to do something a little bit more artistically inclined in the fashion department. So I guess I'll have to wait, but I'm not holding my breath while I do. Next up, we have Shakira, who's wearing Etro and Pomelato. That's the jewelry, nice bands and ring fingers. What I'm going to say on the dress is it's Etro-y, it's printed, it's a bodysuit in orange with prints on it. I guess my issue is it feels just a bit discombobulated. It feels like a bodysuit that's printed and then the black lace skirt just kind of put on top. What I'm going to say is they did a really good job putting the black lace skirt on top because it almost blends entirely into the bodysuit. The skirt itself is not the problem at all. I think it's just feeling these two things come together is my issue. And I really, really like Etro currently. I think it's really great every season. I think the prints are divine. I don't think that these two things are working perfectly, even though that skirt is fantastic. Next up, we have Shensia, and she is wearing vintage Zuhair Murad. I think it's really, again, easy. It's a perfect example of it's form-fitted, sleeveless dress that is green, full of patterns and crystals. It's not really crazy in terms of silhouette, but like there's something interesting about it, which is the idea of this sort of line work, the meandering vines that move throughout the dress. And then on top of it, I think the train helps to sort of sell me on it at the very least. It feels floral. I believe it's sort of like a trellis detail that's layered over top. I'm into it. Next up, we have Sheryl Crow. It's a no. Listen, I get that it's Missoni, and like I have respect for Missoni. I just think that is fugly. Sorry, not sorry. It's like a crystal shower curtain. The Missoni print doesn't need to be turned into a gown at all. Next up, we have Tori Kelly. She's wearing Valdrin Sahidi. Again, like form-fitted gown, great. The shoulder layer thing, not great. The draping over the crotch hip area is actually so insane to me. It makes no logical sense why you would do that. It looks crumpled, frumpled. It looks a hot goddamn mess. The sleeves then on top of it are a little too long. I would know something about this. It's gone from simple to abysmal. And lastly, we have Willow Smith, who I kind of feel bad for in Alexander McQueen. She really thought, like, I am looking the craziest tonight. I'm bearing the most skin. And then Bianca came in and said, no, sweetie, I got this. Listen, I like the coat. Beautiful tailored floor length. Well, not floor length. I like the coat. It's just kind of a crystallized bra and brief on a coat. And unfortunately, like, the flasher's been done a little bit more risque-esque, so I would have loved to have seen Willow Smith in, like, a full McQueen outfit, like a Sean McGurr moment, because he does very good custom, I think. So it feels a little lurch, unfortunately, and she got out-sheared. So that is the end of this Grammys Part 2 video. Let's talk about best and worst. Best, first and foremost, mustard in that cardigan. I'm going to put Beyonce. I know that the malfunction was an issue for people, but like I liked the dress. I thought it was fun. I'll give Janelle Monáe an area. Oh, John Legend, I also really liked. I'll put Clairo in there. I'm going to put Olivia Rodrigo in there exclusively because it looked really good on her, but not from a creativity standpoint. Okay? Now, as for worst, Tori Kelly, Sheryl Crow. This one's a little easier. Jack Antonoff and Margaret Qualley. Julia Fox also, I didn't get it. Chrishell Stause. Sorry. Yeah, that's fine. That's good, right? Okay. Well, thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Part 3. We're going to do more. I'll see you then. TTYL.